Hey, this is this I this, and I just wanted to make this quick video to answer a few things. And before I begin, yes, I'm well aware that Microsoft is charging to repair their Xbox Ones, and let's just leave Microsoft at its own uh, making there. Seriously, Microsoft, $628 to repair a console. Not good PR. But anyways, I just wanted to try to clear off to all like for my viewers why I got Lego Marvel and Injustice for my PS4 and not like Call of Duty or Battlefield 4 Killzone for PS4. And the real reason is I don't really care for the first person shooters anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're really good games and all. It's just whatever. I mean, when I got my PS4, I also got the PlayStation Plus subscription, which gave me Resogun and Contrast, I believe. I forgot the name of that one. And I got those for free. And I also got the free to play game Blacklight Retribution, which is a first person shooter, as well as Warframe, which is a third person shooter. And for the most, they're really good games, and they're free. And if you get PlayStation Plus, you get a lot of free stuff out of Warframe. I mean, a lot of free stuff. Well, actually, you get the free game in a pack. And the good news is, I didn't even need PlayStation Plus to play both Blacklight Retribution or Warframe, which is kind of weird and kind of cool. So yeah, Microsoft may have a better launch library than Sony by just one game, and that's Dead Rising 3, which I don't really care for the whole zombie stuff. I never did. I don't hate the zombie stuff. I just never was in big on the whole zombie killing. So for me, it didn't speak out to me. But for the people who want Dead Rising 3 on PS4, I hope you get it. I really do. I hope you get Dead Rising 3 on the PS4, or at least a good zombie shooter. For me, I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not. I don't really care. And of course, and the other games really don't matter because the whole Forza is a half-ass done game. And all the other games that Microsoft made under their brand company, they microtransitioned that fucking hell out of it. And besides, Rise, Panzer's Dragon, and all that were new IPs. And when you launch new IPs under a new console, 9 out of 10 times they're going to fail. I've only seen like 1% actually become a success. One of them being Crackdown, which I believe was I believe kind of a launch game for the Xbox 360. It got Crackdown 2. Actually, it wasn't really a launch game. It was just really a starter game, or it just was one of the early games. But the only console that I'd ever seen with the most successful launch game titles was the Super NES, as well as the regular NES, which I believe started out with Mario Brothers and then went on to Super Mario Brothers. I'm sorry, it was Super Mario that launched with the NES, and that went on to become a successful series. But then again, the NES kind of had a more of a head launch because the Famicom, which the NES was based under, or basically followed. They're basically the same machine with lots of differences, like no disc loader and stuff like that, and bigger RAM cards and all that. Well, the Famicom came out in 1983 and had add-ons and all this other shit, and then those add-ons were compacted into the NES. And the NES came out in 1985. So 2 years after the Famicom was released in Japan and already went through all of its updates and shit, and the pirates were having fun with the damn thing. And I didn't get knacked because, well, I saw the reviews before I got my PS4 and decided just to skip it. Um, but anyways, I feel that Call of Duty Ghost and Battlefield, as great games as they are, have been done to death in the whole multiplayer. I mean, how many YouTube videos have we seen of Call of Duty since, Modern Warfare have been just plastered all over YouTube? The Call of Duty has literally become this you must have it in order to be considered any type of gamer. And what the fuck ever. I just don't give a shit. If I'm not going to be called a gamer because I don't have a fucking game and all I have is the system, then fine. I'll live with it. I'm not going to fall to this juvenile peer pressure to deal with something that has become repetitive in both YouTube and in the fucking console business. It's just repetitive nonsense. And the same goes for Battlefield. It's been done over to death. And yeah, the PS4 makes Battlefield 4 better, but EA is going to go support their Xbox One. And that's just the way they are. And then you got Killzone. Yay. Killzone. Let's face it, most of the other Killzones were not that great games and not that good grabbers. I'll admit that maybe this Killzone's a little bit more better than its predecessors, but still, yay, another fucking Killzone. Oh well, at least it's not raped to death like the fucking Call of Duty series in the Battlefield, but Killzone was never really that big of a first-person shooter. And the only reason why I got Blacklight Retribution, well, it was free. Can't argue with free. Simply cannot argue with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to get Destiny and try to get Watch Dogs and any other good game that comes out. And hopefully GTA 5, if the rumors are coming out true, somewhere by next year. But other than that, I don't know. I'll also wait to see if this HTPC thing, if Sony successfully removes it. And if they do, I'll probably get me, I don't know, some sort of video capture thing for the hell of it. But the reason why I'm not getting one now is because I'm really unsure. I mean, I know there's HDCP or whatever fucking converters out there for it, and I'm well aware of how to connect it up, and it's confusing as fucking hell. And at least Sony gave us a secondary audio connector. But I'm just gonna sit in my tuffle until it's until some sort of news comes out, or until maybe Sony fixes it, or I'm basically just gonna wait until the end of next year to see what happens. And the main reason why is I don't mind getting the capture card. I just don't want to get an extra product there to convert the video images there. And if Sony does remove that HDBC protection from the video game area, that would be good. That, and I mean, as far as I can consider, this HDBC thing that Sony put in there, along with the battery life and the light at the end of their controllers, was not Sony's brightest ideas. The light at the end is minor, but the battery life on these controllers, yeah, Sony should have thought that one through. And they should have thought about that HDBC protection shit, because they went into this mess with the PS3, but people figured out a way around it with the other connector, which name eludes me right now because I got so much on my mind. But Sony, look, Sony with their PS3 was literally on the edge of passing out a bad console, and the Xbox 360 was whooping its fucking ass. And them putting up this HTPC and even considering the same DRM as Microsoft was not intelligent moves there. They were even considered selling $500 consoles, well, by packing their PlayStation camera in with the PS4. Thankfully, they turned a lot of these ideas down, but they kept the HTVC protection, which was grandly stupid and one of the main reasons why Sony was hurting. Luckily, Sony realized this is why the Xbox became a successful console, so we're going to get rid of that. Because Sony, even though their PS4s are successful and are good, they only have two choices. Bring out a console that their customers like, or watch Sony be torn apart and sell all their IPs and all their electronics off to other corporations as Sony files for bankruptcy. That's their only two choices. And that is, and putting that copyright protection in there was not a good idea. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the PS4 is way better than Xbox One, and Sony really did a good job with that. And Microsoft has been, and the main reason why Sony has been getting all this success is mainly because Microsoft has decided to take their fan base and spit all over them and treat them like shit. The DRM nonsense that they tried to pass and then removed, and now this whole shipping mistake thing, or charging for repairs, and the multimedia functions that barely even worked since their console has been proven to basically been rushed. I mean, half the functions don't even work. I mean, with Sony, you could tell with the PS4 that Sony put some thought into the damn thing. They may have rushed it a little, but they were at least putting some real thinking into this. Microsoft, no. They rushed half their shit and basically just tacked on half the operating system. And a lot of people who got Xbox Ones have been complaining that their interfaces are a joke. It works well if you can get your Kinect to work with you, but if you don't, you have to use the controller. And the control and trying to get to like your profiles and basic settings and shit like that is a bitch when you're just using the controller. You have to use the Kinect to get to them easily. But that's only if the Kinect will work with you. It doesn't work with other languages, and it doesn't understand accents. So if you're living with Louisiana, if you're living in a place like Louisiana and you have that Louisiana accent, good luck on getting that Xbox One to understand you, and you better get used to them funky controls. And Microsoft, and as I demonstrated in a video, that I can use voice commands on my PS4 without installing the fucking PlayStation camera. But Microsoft says that, you have to have their microphone to work with the Kinect's voice commands. And of course, that's a contradiction itself, because they're saying that basically the Kinect's microphone has all the voice commands, which is bullshit because it's inside the fucking hard drive. And as I stated before, yeah, Microsoft's voice commands are better than PlayStation's voice commands, but I have to hook up an external device to use them. Bullshit. It's the same bullshit with the 360 and the Kinect's voice commands. You must use our microphone because it's the only way to use the Kinect voice commands. Just wow, Microsoft. Wow. Yep. We now use microphones for hard drives now instead of actual hard drives because, according to Microsoft, that's how that works. I just got to remember to get that 2 terabyte fucking microphone. And of course, you can at least replace the hard drive in the PS4. Xbox One, good luck. You'll void your warranty, and it's all the way in the back of the fucking machine and down below. Good luck. Even though the Xbox One's hard drive is exactly the same as the PS4's hard drive. And I mean exactly. It's a 2.5 laptop hard drive. Fucking stupid, Microsoft. They put all that thought in their new controllers, but nothing when they put that damn thing together. I mean, they had no thinking when they put that damn console together. And by the way, I don't think Sony should have sold off their rights to Banjo-Kazooie. In fact, when the PS3 came out, they sold a lot of rights to their exclusives to other companies, mainly because they thought the PS3 was going to sell on its own. Not a good idea there, huh, Sony? Oh well, at least they got other good IPs other than Killzone, which is just, average. First-person shooter and just Killzone. But that's the real reason why knack was created, just trying to replace Banjo-Kazooie and all the other IPs that Sony got rid of, which they shouldn't have. I mean, they used to own Spyro. Now Activision has it and turned it into a toy thing with Skylanders and all the other Skylanders and all the other toys. And instead of acting like a repetitive little guy who does everything on YouTube, I'm just not going to repeat and go buy fucking yet another Call of Duty and yet another Battlefield game and just show the game footages off. Yay. It's It's all over. It's just repetitive, and what's the point? And besides, since I'm also a comic book fan, just go all the way back to my very first video, you can understand why I really got Lego Marvel and Injustice, because I know all those characters and I know all the different skins and shit like that. And it was fun collecting them and gathering them and seeing what they can do and all that other stuff. I still think that DC, Warner Brothers, and all the other developers are lying about not putting DLC on the Wii U. I mean, they could have at least finished that one off, but it's nice to at least get the other two characters and the rest of the skins, though. But still a remarkable amount of bullshit. But, anyways, I'm sick of the generic first person shooters. I think that the whole fucking genre has been done to death. That's why I didn't. That's pretty much plain and simple. That's why I didn't get Call of Duty Ghost and Battlefield 4 and even Killzone. It's just been a genre that has been done to death, and they're going to keep beating that dead horse. For the love of God, stop beating the fucking horse. But that's all I have. See ya.